India will maintain its import of Russian crude oil despite recent threats of sanctions from former U.S. President Donald Trump, the New York Times reports. Last week, Trump warned that Indian exports to the United States could face additional tariffs if New Delhi does not halt its oil trade with Moscow. However, Indian officials told the publication that there have been no formal directives to reduce Russian oil imports, and the country's policy toward Russia remains unchanged. Randhir Jaiswal, spokesperson for India's Ministry of External Affairs, emphasized that India's relationship with Russia is based on its own strategic interests and should not be viewed through the prism of third countries. He also highlighted the long-standing partnership between the two nations. India is currently the world's second-largest importer of Russian oil, trailing only China, with daily imports exceeding 2 million barrels. Since the start of the conflict in Ukraine, Russia's share in India's oil market has surged from under 1% to over 33%. U.S. pressure and strategic calculations. In the early months following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, India faced considerable pressure from Western nations to reduce economic ties with Moscow. However, that stance has softened over time. The West has since allowed purchases of Russian oil under a price cap designed to stabilize global energy markets. According to the New York Times, the latest threats from Trump may reflect a broader negotiation strategy as the U.S. and India continue discussions on a potential bilateral trade agreement. Notably, other major importers of Russian oil, including China and Turkey, have not faced similar sanctions or threats. New Delhi's response. India has made it clear that it does not intend to alter its approach in response to Trump's remarks. Officials reaffirmed that the country's foreign policy is shaped independently and that its ties with Russia are based on consistent, long-term interests. While Jaiswal reaffirmed the strength of Indo-Russian ties, he also acknowledged the importance of the U.S.-India partnership, calling it one grounded in shared values and mutual interests. These statements coincided with Reuters reports that some Indian state-owned refineries have temporarily paused Russian oil purchases. However, private firms such as Reliance Industries and Naira Energy continue to be major buyers. State-run refineries account for more than 60% of India's refining capacity, indicating that any significant policy shift would primarily depend on government-controlled entities.